Welcome to Gamespace Weekly number 6. This is the 6th time that we're going to look back at everything Gamespace, everything that you might have missed from the news and reviews over at Gamespace. First up on Gamespace Weekly is the new Division 2 expansion that's coming out. Early on in the week, Ubisoft kicked off the news in big style, revealing that the Division 2 is getting a new expansion. Called the Warlords of New York, it takes the Division back to where everything started, where players will get all sorts of new and shiny stuff. There's a new character level going up to 40. There's a new storyline where you hunt a rogue Division agent that's, well, gone rogue. That can never end well. There's also going to be tons of extra new stuff that I'm not going to get into here, but we also did have a hands-on preview out in San Francisco with Ubisoft to get a look at everything coming to the Warlords of New York. So if you want to check out the news and what's coming up, head over to Gamespace, check our hands-on review. But let's head on to the next bit of news. Next up, Pearl Abyss, makers of the massive MMORPG Black Desert Online, have announced that they are opening closed beta testing for Shadow Arena. Shadow Arena initially started as a new feature in Black Desert Online, but has now spawned an entirely new game. The closed beta testing is going to start on the 27th of February. It's going to run all the way until March the 8th. Now, if you want a chance to get in on this and watch 40 players go at it in arena-style combat, then head over to Gamespace, where we've got details on the news of this upcoming closed beta testing, as well as next week, we're going to have the opportunity for you to grab a closed beta code to Shadow Arena. Next up on Gamespace news, Nvidia and Blizzard look like they've had a little bit of a falling out. A week after Nvidia launched their GeForce Now Streaming service and we were all hyped about it, it looks like they've already lost some big names. Due to what seems to be some sort of misunderstanding, the details we don't know what that is, Blizzard games have been pulled from Nvidia's GeForce Now Streaming service. The result is a few fewer games, but you're still going to get ray tracing for $5 a month, so whether that actually puts any of you off, then who knows. Talking of Blizzard, it looks like WoW Classic players have already got one up on Blackwing. The massive MMORPG that's gone back to its roots opened up Blackwing Lair last week, and it looks like some of the top guilds that have been in Classic WoW have gone ahead and already downed this raid boss. Now, whilst that means that they've got all the epic loot firsthand, that doesn't necessarily mean that you've lost out. Last week, to celebrate opening up Blackwing Lair and returning to something that we can all be nostalgic about, we gave away 3 15th anniversary collector's edition boxes from World of Warcraft. If you want to see if you won, check your email or head over to our social media pages. Otherwise, we've got tons of other stuff that we're giving away, well, in the coming week. We finish up the news this week with some information on Half Life Alyx. Yep, it's still coming. It's going to be here, it's not vaporware. It might not be Half-Life 3, but the latest addition to the Half-Life franchise is going to land on March the 23rd. Now, suffice to say that the internet is hyped about this, and we are here too. Heck, I ended up going out and buying an Oculus Rift. Now, admittedly, I played some more stuff on it, but I want to be that freedom fighter who's taken on the alien invasion that's at the heart of the Half-Life franchise. If you want to find out a bit more about this, then head over to Gamespace. We've got as much news as we could squeeze out of Valve, which is pretty much not a lot, but whatever we've got is there. Right, on to reviews. Now, obviously at Gamespace, we have tons of news, reviews, and information for you. This week I'm going to highlight a couple of things that you might want to check out in our reviews. First off, there's my own work, looking at the Sound Blaster G3 DAC amp. This diminutive USB DAC amp allows console, mobile, and PC gamers to level up their audio experience. If you're just used to plugging in a headset to the onboard USB or a 3.5mm jack that doesn't do much but give you interference, then this is really the first step you want to take. Check out my review, see if the Sound Blaster G3 is anything on the Super SXFI set that we tried before over at Gamespace. Next up in reviews, and quite fittingly, last week, Not Tonight Take Back Control Edition hit the Switch. It's almost as if the publisher was releasing it on Brexit Day, which they did. The anti-Brexit management simulation sees the UK being controlled by a far-right government, a far-right government. In a dystopian future, and an alternate reality where things haven't gone so well with the Brexit situation. Now, I'm not going to impose my own political feelings on it, but if you want to take on a narrative story where you play as an immigrant in this situation, you have choices, you have to get by in the whole environment, then it's definitely one to look at. Head over to Gamespace, take a look at the review. It certainly had high scores the last time we looked at it, and I think it will again. We may not have many reviews for you this week at Gamespace Weekly, but my script says that next up we've got hats coming. Probably what I meant is what's coming up. Next week on Gamespace, well, let's try that again, shall we? Because I think I'm going to make Saf laugh. Before everything descends into total chaos here at Gamespace Weekly, let's let you know what's coming up at Gamespace.com next week. I'm going to be taking a look at some peripherals from Snakebite. They're called the Multiplay Con, and they allow you to add on some miniature Bluetooth controllers for any time you're taking your Switch to a party. We'll let you know how they work out. I'm also going to be taking a look at a VR game called Box VR. Think of it like Beat Saber, but with a lot more movement and intensity. I certainly worked up a sweat this week, and you do not want to see that on camera. Finally, we've also got a bunch of competitions coming up at Gamespace. I'm going to be going ahead and giving away some keys for Eclipse Age of Light. It was previously a purely VR game, came out on Daydream last year I believe, and it was a critical success. It won a number of VR awards. It's a narrative game where you crash land on a planet and you have to explore the narrative to find out what happened to this abandoned planet full of mysterious artifacts. It's now on Switch and Steam and PSVR, so it's definitely got a bigger audience, and we're going to be giving away some keys for that. I do have something else special in the works, as well as the previously mentioned opportunity for you to grab a closed beta code for Shadow Arena CBT when that comes up. We got tons more stuff coming up at Gamespace as well, so head over to there, take a look around, and find something you want to play. Thanks a lot for watching Gamespace Weekly. I'm going to go and find out what's wrong behind the camera. Gloverman. Who says a Gloverman?